Crusader Kings 2. This is the Game of Thrones mod, and you are here with me in House Reyne. A little bit of a play, just a little game I've been playing in my free time. And I thought, hey, you guys might want to actually, might want to actually see this. So essentially, we're playing as House Reyne, and we are the rightful rulers of the Rock. So you're probably asking yourself, how the hell did this all happen? What is Joe Oblivion doing? How did he get here? What is this sorcery? And essentially what this is I've extended the bleeding years. Now, if any one of you who don't really know what that is, essentially the bleeding years was the period of time before Aegon's conquest. Now, you can't, as far as I know, there is no bookmark that allows you to play during the bleeding years, but there's no reason you can't you can't extend the bleeding years, because that era ends when Aegon and his dragons and his sisters conquer all of Westeros. So, and this is one of my favorite ways of playing, is if you want to have the independent sovereigns of Westeros all vying for, well, dominance over each other or things like that. Essentially, all you have to do is start Aegon's conquest, and you have to let the timer start a little bit, but once everything spawns in and everything gets set, you use the console to go and kill off all the dragons, essentially. Aegon's dragon, Meraxes, Visenya's dragon, Rhaenys' dragon. And I know for you people who are like, oh no, how could you kill the dragons? It's like, yeah, it's unfortunate that we got to kill dragons, but you need to. Otherwise, Aegon will always take over Westeros, whether he starts off invading Westeros right off the bat, or if he starts off invading Essos and creates the new Valyrian Freehold, because then eventually he's gonna come to Westeros too. So if you want to be able to play as the Sovereign Kings, you have to do it this way. You also have to do it before the Kingdom of Westeros, the title, is established. Because once that's established, the AI is going to be clambering over each other to get that title. Why? Because it gives them de jure claims on everything from Dorne to the Wall. And if someone has that, it's going to be perpetual war. And another thing is, the AI kind of likes to be in that title. I don't know why. So they want to be Lord Paramounts. They don't want to be Sovereign Kings. So if you want the AI and you want everyone to be Sovereign Kings, you have to stop Aegon before he can take over anything. Okay. All of that aside, this particular game, I started off as House Reyne under House Lannister. Now, at this point in time, the Reynes are considerably powerful, but they're also very loyal to the Lannisters. As you go later on into the bookmarks, this changes, especially towards Robert's Rebellion. I think the Reyne-Tarbeck rebellion happened somewhere before Robert's Rebellion. You want to find out where it is, just go to the age when Tywin Lannister is 16 years old. Essentially, that year is when the Reynes are forced to rebel. Well, they're not forced to rebel, but they're forced to choose between rebellion or not. I always thought it was odd that House Reyne would choose that particular time to rebel, considering House Reyne is much more powerful earlier on. So, I mean, I've tried games where we play as Roger the Red Lion, the same Red Lion that Tywin faced, but when the Reynes finally rebel, Roger is like 49. He's one more year and he's a grizzled, he's just a gray old man. And Tywin's in his prime. Whereas Roger the Red Lion could have rebelled when he was 16 or 21, when he's in his prime. And Tywin is still a child. So it's like, what the hell's really going on here? So, all that aside, essentially, we started off as the Reynes, and we were conspiring to overthrow the monarchy of the Rock. And thankfully, luckily for us, King Lauren, if I can find him, King Lauren had a very weak rule. He was deposed. Where is he? Where is King Lauren? There he is. Yes, he was deposed and he was sent to the wall. He lost his nose, was sent to the wall, and he had, let's see. Oh, I didn't know he had 5 children. Where did Tywin come from? Oh, he was still somehow making babies. He wasn't abiding by his vows. When he was deposed and sent to the wall, he only had 3 children. Or maybe he had 4. Well, because it says Tyda Lannister here died at the age of 6, and she came before Alyssa. I remember Gisela, I remember Celessa, and I remember Elissa. Weird convention for naming for the females. But I remember only these 3. Maybe I had ignored Tyda because she was already dead, because she died at age 6. But essentially, Gisela had to take over Lauren's place after he was deposed. And as you know, the AI, no, they don't really like female rulers. And so we were eventually under Rickard I the Arrogant. we were able to launch our faction to depose the monarchy of the Rock, and it was really, really easy. The royal armies had all been spent in a previous civil war, so we pretty much just marched into Casterly Rock and said, guess what? We're taking over now as the noble oligarchs of the realm. So that was Lord Rickard II. Unfortunately, we weren't able to establish the monarchy rules again within his lifetime. He eventually died of cancer, unfortunately, and we can see that the realm passed into the hands of Lord Robert of the Rock of House Florent. He got yeah, okay, so oh Jesus Christ, I didn't see all this. Apparently he was blinded, he was castrated, he lost his leg, he lost his arm, and he became mangled. He died in the midst of battle by Ilin. Ah, Ilin. Okay, yeah. So, oh, he was a peasant. Okay, so so Lord Robert was killed in a battle with peasants, and when he died, we re-inherited the realm under Reginald the Old. Reginald the Old lived to 67, and he was actually able to convert it back to a monarchy. So at this point, Reginald establishes the monarchy under the reigns of, Castamere. Formerly Castamere is now known as the Halls of Reyne, our capital right here now. No longer Casterly Rock, it is now the Halls of Reyne. We do own Casterly Rock, which we've renamed to Reyne Rock. We actually have a lot of titles at the moment. We got a lot of titles. We've been spreading out. We've been putting reigns everywhere. I mean, everywhere we have titles, excess of 5 titles, I've been giving them to reigns. So normally we had reigns in Fair Isle, but they're gone. We've got reigns in Case. We've got reigns in Tarbeck Hall. We've got reigns in, where else do we have reigns? We got reigns in other places, Fang Tower. And we also have lots of titles that we own ourselves that we're going to pass down to our heirs. So right now I'm playing as King Rickard II, the Mad of the Rock. Unfortunately, the royal bloodline for the Reynes has not really been that great. I've been trying my hardest to kind of inject the congenital traits of giant into the bloodline, because I figured, the Lannisters are known for being just innately smart. The Durandons are known for being just innately strong. The Baratheon bloodline, stuff like that. I wanted the Reynes to be naturally huge, and maybe one day, once we have enough giantism in our bloodline, then we can start incorporating strong as well. Essentially, I want the Reynes to be a house of the mountains, if you can imagine. And essentially what they do is they primarily focus on martial, and secondary, they focus on diplomacy. Unfortunately, King Rickard didn't really focus too much on his... Every reign gets etiquette focus at a young age, and then they shift to military. But unfortunately, Rickard II is not all that diplomatic. He is quite the lunatic, though. Lord Reynard the Chaste used a favor on... Okay, that's fine. I mean, they're really loyal to us right now. So what just happened recently is we lost a war with the Reach. Whoa, what is this? Lord Andrews of Goldshire is giving bizarre impulsive evidence concerning blah blah blah's sexual preferences. Andrew Massey. I'll keep this information to myself. I don't care. But anyways, we lost a war with the Reach. Now, the Reach is not ruled by the Gardners anymore. They're ruled by the Foxes of House Florent. King Gunther has taken over the Reach. Now, let's go actually see how he did that. We're just going to autosave as I'm trying to do something. King Gunther... No. It was taken under Alistair, his predecessor. It was inherited. Gawain Gardner died, and then House Florent inherited under King Alistair. He was killed in personal combat. His one son inherited the title, and he is what I like to call... His nickname is the Blessed, but I like to call him the Blessed Fox, because he's of House Florent. He has the shrewd trait, which, I mean, it's a fox symbol, so I think every Florent should have the shrewd trait ideally, but he's also a formidable fighter, a legendary fighter, and he was really, really good at getting men together. His diplomacy is ridiculously high, but he had fuck tons of soldiers. We also had fuck tons of soldiers, too. But the thing is that I think there was a long-time rivalry between the Rock and the Reach, and I think King Gunther wanted to establish House Florent over House Reyne, and unfortunately, they were able to do that because we were able to enable slavery in the Rock. And so House Florent used that as a premise to attack us, and unfortunately, down here in Cornfield and Greenfield is where we met the armies of the Reach, and unfortunately, they actually tricked me. The AI actually tricked me, so that was kind of cool, kind of shit at the same time. Plus, my commanders were doing some really stupid shit as well. And King Rickard himself actually lost a few battles personally, so that's a really poor example. Anyways, they bested our armies. Our armies right now are still recovering. But you know what? We didn't lose a whole lot. We did lose all of our slaves, which essentially the only place we can get slaves from is by raiding the Iron Isles. The Iron Isles are really weak right now, and so we were able to slave raid them. But again, we lost our slaves because they were freed by House Florent. We do have a concubine at the moment, but, you know, shh, don't tell nobody about that. We're not supposed to be having slaves, but, you know, she really likes us, so I think it's kind of consensual. And so right now we're trying to rebuild our armies to get vengeance against House Florent, and we will. We will. First things first is I need to make sure I actually have everyone in my council doing stuff. All right, I'm pretty sure I left it all off pretty well. Left it all in good. Okay, King's Justice. Normally give that to the person with the highest martial in the armies. The council's all full. Excellent. Now, I see that my ambition is actually to fall in love, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to seduce my concubine here. That seems like a good idea. And this will increase our diplomacy by 1. All right, our diplomacy is actually pretty shit. We need to get rid of deceitful. We need to become honest. The Reynes are not known for being liars, essentially. Not like the Lannisters were. Perhaps it's time to ask Olma to spend some time with me. I will ask her. I'd like to actually stop swaying her since we're going to be seducing her. I don't really need to sway her too. I'd rather sway someone more powerful. I'm starting to think Cirilla might fancy me. She was married to Lord Rob the Clueless, who was another Reyne. And they gave birth to Bertrand Reyne. Alright, we got to rename him. The naming convention, and this is something I love to do with every house that has a bloodline, is follow a simple naming convention, and generally it is the first letter of the house of the name. The first letter of the house's name. So every person who's a Reyne, their name is going to start with an R. So we've got Rickard, we have Reyne Reyne, Ruther Reyne, Reginald Reyne, Rorwin Reyne, and Radrian Reyne. Lots of R's. I do the same thing when I'm playing as the Lannisters. Only you guys don't see that, because those are personal playthroughs. Bertrand, no, I don't. Randros. Actually, you know what? That sounds fine. Eventually, you get so desperate for names, you'll settle with all sorts of weird-sounding names. So that's Randros Reyne, and Cirilla's fancying me. Am I married? I am married to Queen Elone. I don't care. Go ahead and make a move. We have fulfilled the ambition to fall in love. Excellent. Oh, so we don't just visit our chambers, we also fall in love. Excellent. So we got an extra point of diplomacy. Make the 8. Prestige. We don't really need to make prestige anymore. Has ruled the realm in peace for 5 years. Well, I imagine in 5 years, we could have our armies really well built. And it would make all of the... You know what? Let's focus on making the 8. Finally talk in private. Oh, yeah, let's stop swaying her. We don't need to sway her anymore. How about we sway... So we don't, not all of our vassals absolutely love us, but then they all don't hate us either. The Lord of Seagard, you're really old. You're probably going to die here soon. We also need to empty our court a little bit. Rupert Liddon hates us. He absolutely despises us. Rival legalized slavery, fought a duel, threatened by claim fabrication. Oh, yeah. Jason Craycall, you're also rather old. We need to be swaying people who are not sick and who are young. Leo Brax, you are 26 years old. We're going to sway you. Maester Graydon, such a gracious host. Since some time now, he has become famous throughout the realm for his jovial and welcoming nature. Good for him. Good for him. But also, I wanted to show you guys the different bloodlines for House Reyne. House Reyne, yep, meet in my room, lady. And she spurned me, that's fine. Okay, so we're looking at the royal bloodline of the Reynes right here, under Reginald the Old, loyal servant. Oh, great. Oh, shit. Your Grace, loyal servant, such as I deserve some recognition. He wants the Lordship with the Golden Tooth. We can't give any of our titles away because we need to make as much money as as is bloody well possible, because I'm trying to build a huge Westerlander fortress here in the Halls of Reyne. If the Halls of Reyne are ever going to have any chance of eclipsing the might of Casterly Rock, we need to have as big of a castle in the Westerlands as possible. Huge Westerman fortress, and we need 4,720 gold. Part of the reason why I went for slavery was because we can get those slave camps, and they do a tremendous amount in terms of lowering the price of these huge projects. So, with the first level having marginal slavery, the first slave level, it reduces construction costs by, I believe, 10%, which knocks this down to 4,400. Now, at max slave capacity, it knocks it down by 50%. So imagine this just halved. we're talking 2,300. That's very, very doable within the lifetime of King Rickard to establish this enormous Westerman fortress. But alas, we need slaves. We need slaves for that to happen. And we recently had our slaves taken from us by the foxes of the south, for which they will pay with blood for this. No, we will not give you any titles. This is the royal bloodline of the Reynes right now. We currently have... Ooh. Get this out of my face for a second. Right. So the royal bloodline is continuing through Rickard the Mad, and it's not doing that great. They don't have the best congenital traits, even though I've been going out of my way to marry people to giants. Reyne was our firstborn. She has given birth to a daughter, which isn't the end of the world. Get this shit out of my face. But she's not giant, and she doesn't have any particularly good traits. Then there was Reynes, but he's dead. Under our brother, our son, Reginald, apparently he died in battle. In personal combat, oh, right, Raymond Gardner. That was during the war with the Reach, yep. He was killed by a goddamn Gardner. We had Robin Reyne, again, died as a stillborn. We have Riora, who is slow. That seems to be a growing trend with the Reynes, as they're kind of stupid. Unfortunately... our heir is our third son, Rorwin. Our first son, Prince Ruther, who actually is kind of decent, has decided he would rather go fight for a religious holy order, and since we had Reginald alive, and Reginald was alive at the time, and Rorwin, I figured Reginald could rule, even though he had cancer at age 18. But now it looks like Rorwin is going to be, well, he's our heir, and we can see he is pretty stupid. He is married to a genius and attractive female, so that would be great for the bloodline, but it won't matter if she doesn't have any kids. Reginald's ex-wife, Jarell of the Waters, is currently unmarried. We probably should marry her to somebody. Okay, she's not a giant, she's strong, though. Sometimes it's hard to find good matches when you're trying to sequester the congenital trait giant. We do have a younger son, though, at age 3, Radrian Reyne. A late son we've had with our concubine, well, our ex-concubine Megan. She was freed, but he is betrothed to Milana Jast. There is a line of Reynes that that were married to House Jast, and so they're giving birth to Jasts. And I see that technically, if she had been born a Reyne, she would have been a giant Reyne. So I had her betrothed to Prince Radrian. So maybe Rorwin will die. He is part of a sellsword group right now, but maybe he'll die or something, and then Radrian can take over, betrothed to his Jast wife, who's giant. So the royal bloodline, could be better. We still have a young half-sister who is betrothed to Jorn Hornwood, matrilineally, of course, who is also giant. So maybe that could start a new bloodline. That'd be good. Under our aunt Reyne, they have Raymond Reyne, who rules in Case. He is married to Lady Joy of Case. She doesn't have any good congenital traits because that was the AI setting up that marriage. There is Reynard Reyne, but he is ugly. Yes. And then we have a kinswoman, Rhaenyra Reyne, the beautiful Rhaenyra Reyne, who is giant as well. And she's married to a Jast, and she's the one who gave birth to Milana Jast. So unfortunately, we couldn't marry her into the family, but we're marrying her children off, so that could be useful. There is, however, a distant line of Reynes under Randros' reign. I'm a little confused by how that was, oh, I see. Wait a minute, our lover? Oh, she is our lover. So was that his, okay, he had two, okay, so Lord Rob the Clueless, one of the first giant Reynes, had two wives, and under his first wife, Alysanne Reyne, wait a minute, no, that was his daughter. He had a son who was a bastard, then he had his daughter, Alysanne Reyne, who was matrilineally married to Sir Andrew Storm, again, another AI set-up marriage. But apparently he also had Randros Reyne, who's relatively new. Okay, so let's give him the etiquette focus. He might die young though, which is unfortunate. But Alysanne has given birth to a lot of different Reynes. Lady Rionne Reyne, who has given birth to, unfortunately, Harletons. She is giant though, so that's great. Is Harleton giant? No. And then Raven Reyne, who is married. Excellent. And then they have Elaine Reyne. So, I mean, they don't have a lot of the giant traits. That's unfortunate. Sir Rayson of Fang Tower is betrothed to Lady Lawless of House Massey. She was, I mean, she does come from the House Durrandon, though. And she has sisters that I want to... Oh, well. Sisters that I wanted to betroth. Oh, well, apparently they are. Anyways, the last one, the last male is rival Reyne, who is actually giant. So I think he might be the only Reyne right now who is actually giant. And then Riona Reyne. So, I mean... It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. The AI, when you start making these different paths of kin members and everything, they make their own choices, and sometimes they don't always follow the plan. But as long as we have control of our own children, I'm going to try to get as many of them married to giant people as possible. I've been informed that Lord Ryger has come to the halls of Reyne and has requested an audience with me in order to pay me homage, as is tradition for a newly appointed vassal. Ah... And you see we have some territory here in the Riverlands as well. Very well, send him in, is granted an audience. Lord Ryger gives me a polite smile and kneels down, passionately reciting his oath of vassalage and declaring his hope for my reign to endure for many years still. It is so rare to meet such a dispassionate and kind person. We are glad for your visit. Family acknowledge Lord Ryger's oath, maintaining the proper formality dictated by your rank. I'm happy you came. Visiting you using a more informal tone to address him despite your difference in rank. I am not familiar with this event chain. Well, let's be formal. I seem to have made a very positive impression on Lord Ryger. I'm hopeful that after the ceremony, we will be able to maintain a good and healthy relationship as any liege should with his vassals, the gods willing. Ooh. I've been informed that Lord Ryger has come to the halls. Oh, he's visiting me again? He's visiting me? Yeah. I'm happy you came. What did I say? Oh, apparently. Okay, whatever. Hey, you hit me with that duplicate event, so of course I'm gonna use both options. Ridiculous. Anyways, my lover Sorella has informed me that she is pregnant with child. Oh, great. Great. Well, I mean, if he's got good traits, we can legitimize him. Okay, we need a new maester. New Master of Whispers, it seems. They have to be loyal, though. They have to be loyal, but her intrigue is 0. Right, so Andros of Goldshire has the highest intrigue, but he hates us. Andrew, we'll use you. You're not a lord, but we'll use you all the same. Anyways, we need to be seducing more people. Are we still seducing our concubine? Yes. As I'm spending a pleasant moment alone with the attractive cook, the wretched child Alyssane comes upon us and promptly starts chiding me about morals. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. She's but a child. She's but a child. Send her away. Send her back north where she belongs. Now, I believe we invited... I think Branna Bolton was invited here so that our father could seduce her. Let's ask her to leave. And take your family with you. Let's see. It says we need to set our house words, but we've already set our house words. We don't need to set them again. Is our court still packed? Yes, it is. Can we kick some more people out? Yes, we can. Let's see. Balthazar, Tavia Fowler, and Alyssa Belmore. Be gone! Alright. I'm going to confess my love for my concubine. Oh, damn. Didn't work. Didn't work. Anyways, how are our armies doing? Let's see. Still building them up in Castamere. Mound Hill, Case isn't ours. Casterly Rock too. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of work ahead of us, and in saving money as well. Wait. What was that? Your son-in-law Abelard died of cancer. So now, oh great. Princess Reyne is widowed again. Let's see. Her first husband, Sir Simon, had cancer. Her second husband had cancer. Maybe Reyne is giving them all cancer somehow. But she needs to be married again. Marry again, and this time try to find great traits. No giants in the court. Are there strong in the court? No. I'm glad to see that she isn't widowed, though. She doesn't really have much love for her, let's see, for her husbands. Okay. So we have some options for matrilineal marriage into giants. We could marry Sir Kari, but he is of a very odd culture. I don't know if that's going to affect the way the children come out. They might. We have Kermit, a riverman of House Harleton, but he is depressed. Is that going to affect his fertility? Minus 5%? Yeah, that might not be good. Let's do Oroville Hill, because he's 13, he's giant, and he doesn't really have anything to indicate that he won't have, that he'll have problems with fertility. So go ahead and set up that betrothal. If you could, please. Thank you. Is he in our court? Can we become his guardian? Apparently we can. So we've got Radrian as our ward, as well as Oroville Hill. You're gonna do martial, even if you're gonna be bad at it, because god damn it, martial is the way of life here in the new Rock Kingdom under House Reyne. What is this? No, there's no one conspiring against House Reyne. How dare you? Known plotters kill Lord Quentin of the Sarsfield. All right, you hate us, and you were Lord Matthias of Oxcross. You have a weapon. World Killer. Okay, he's somehow got a Valyrian blade. I'm not sure how he pulled that off, but he is married to some. Okay, so he was betrothed, or he was married to Rowena Reyne, our cousin. And so I gave him a title because I thought that when he died, his children, who would be Reynes, would inherit it. So Lord Ryman is his heir and would inherit Tendring Oxcross, apologies, as well. It used to be Tendring, but now it's Oxcross. And, but it seems he's remarried. So if he has any children with Lady Janissa, he has his own house now, Woodwright. That title would fall outside of our control. So we need to deal with this guy. And he's currently plotting to kill a fellow vassal. He hates us. Legalized slavery, threatened by claim fabrication. We did do that. With too many held high lordships. Okay, we need to get rid of a high lordship. Your high lordship of the Case, right? The high lordship of Case, we're going to create that title. Excellent. And we're going to give it to our kinsman. High lordship of Case. Ooh. Right. So we don't have full control over everything just now. Apparently the council, because the council was in control of everything, now we have to vote away their power. I have been able to get away justice, but titles and offices currently need to be voted on again, and we can't change it again for 3 more years. Why do they not want us to give it to... They don't want to give it to Case. You... Okay, so our hand of the king is Lord Terrence of These Fires, and he is the one who is pulling... apparently everyone owes him favors. I think he's bought out the entire council. And so he's using his influence on the council to prevent us from giving the high lordship to a fellow Reyne. We need to see that dealt with. So the way we're going to deal with that is we're going to kick him. We're going to kick him out. We're going to replace him with Lord Ryga, the vassal that came in and visited us and showed the formal loyalty and everything like that. We reward him by making him hand of the king. Now we should be able to. That should reset all the favors. So let's see if we can give him the high lordship of Case, and we can see everyone agrees. So you see, if you have a vassal in your court that is being a problem, and you see that they have favors for everyone else in the court, get that vassal out of your council immediately. Go ahead and give him Case. Ah, excellent. I think it still says we have too many held high lordships, so we have to give away one more. Of the high lordships, what do we have? Let's see. We've got the high lordship of Castamere. We're going to keep that. I need to rename that title as well. High lordship of Castle of the Rock. I'll rename that one. The high lordship of Fair Isle. No one actually rules Fair Isle at the moment. That's not good. The high lordship of Fair Isle. Does that also include? No, that's just the island. I'm wondering how much money does this give me? Tax modifier 100. How much does total county tax? Yearly tax paid to us, total yearly income. Total yearly income is 40, and they give almost half of that money in taxes. Yeah, I want that money. I want that money. Lordship of Mount Hill. Lordship, high lordship, high lordship, high lordship. God damn it. Is there anyone I can give this to? Let's see. Mount Hill also belongs to us. Shit. We might have to bite the bullet on this one. Do I want to give it to Rorwyn? Can I disinherit him? He's not even in our court. But apparently we can invite him back. Let's invite him back, see if he joins us. And then we'll have to figure out if we're going to give away Fair Isle to somebody. I rather like having the domain size of 5, but... Has declared anathema upon your acquaintance, King Joffrey II Aaron. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Oh great, our son is back. Can we disinherit you now? Forced to train. I can still force him to train, even at age 18. Force him to train. How did you not? You had a 57%, you son of a bitch. 57% chance. Propose a foreign tour, and okay, maybe he'll... Well, you know what? While he's out doing that, I know something we can do. God, this is terrible. Terrible! Anyways, so he's returned, and we've sent him off on a trip Now, something you might have seen at the start of the episode was that the mountain in Vale encompassed also the north, and that's because they subjugated the north. They invaded the north. They took over. I thought about maybe trying to intervene by weakening them, but at the time, I was more focused on our king surviving so that we could change the monarchy type. Let's see. Come on. All right, I don't have patience for this. We have someone more important. Oh, there she is. Let's go ahead and seduce Benera. She's not pregnant yet, and she needs to be pregnant. All right, form this betrothal, matrilineal marriage with Rolana, our half-sister. Do it! Excellent. Apparently, the Vale is going through some hard times, though. Okay, he accepts the betrothal. What's going on in the Vale? In war against the tyranny of King Joffrey the second of Mountain and Vale. And, you know, we can attack them, too, but they've got 13,000 men, and we have 19, so we are rebuilding our armies. But it is going to take some time. How are our levies doing in I believe yes, our Master at Arms is here. He has got 23 Marshal. Sir Kyle survived losing his eye in the war with the Reach, so good for him. He is rather old, though, so he is probably going to expire here eventually. We are rebuilding the armies in the halls of Reyne. Orville seems very interested in garments. That's fine. That's fine to be fashionable. I had a character that was groomed and fashionable. That was great. Your Grace, we received word from High Guard that your courtier Horton, our courtier Horton, I believe he was captured in the war with the Reach. Word from that has suffered a grave mutilation at the hands of his captor, Gunther Florent, who had the unfortunate Horton blinded. They seem to have been a little premature with the nickname Blessed, considering he's now cruel and he's popping people's eyeballs out. Poor bastard. But I am kind of waiting for Gunther to pass, because Prince Owen stands to inherit the realm, and he is an incompetent commander. Now, he is a skilled fighter. Now, the one thing I can say about House Reyne is we do sport a rather, not only a martial tradition, but a tradition for favoring dueling skills. So generally, all of our kids, with the exception of Rorwin, but he's kind of stupid, though, are generally good duelists. So you can see our first son was a skilled fighter. Our second son was a skilled fighter. Radrian will probably also be a skilled fighter since we focus so much on that. In fact, saying that, though, I probably should have, I should probably have you training the children, but we really need our armies back up to 100% too. That is a conundrum. Anyways, we are seducing the wife of our stupid son, Prince Rorwin, and we will flirt with her. Right now, our wife is generally unconcerned. We're just kind of ignoring her, and she's kind of ignoring us. Alma already really likes us. She hasn't given us any children yet, but I'm sure in time that will happen. I'm wondering if there's any way we can recruit our troops faster. Let's see. Improve defenses. Pacify the province. That might help us. We might want that. Cannot assign a new job until next year. Damn it. Alright, keep flirting with his wife. Do it. Our acquaintance, Lord Donar, has died. We also carry the ancestral blade, Red Reyne, which we had to get back from House Drum. Because Lord Hilmar, where is he? Lord Harak? Lord Hilmar the Cunning was a fantastic character who had our sword. And we couldn't get it back. We waged multiple wars with the Iron Isles to get our Red Reyne back, and we weren't able to do it until we inevitably took over all of the rock, and then we sent him a very polite message saying, please give us our sword back, and he said, okay, fine. So that's how we got it back. Do I care if my queen knows we're cheating? Yeah, I kind of do. Realm emancipated. Expires 76. Yeah, it's going to be a long time before we can have slaves again. Damn it. It might not even be within King Rickard II's time. At age 18, your son, Rorwin Reyne, died of poor health. I don't really know what that means, poor health. He didn't have any health problems. He was doing A-okay, and then he just, poof, just died. I wonder if that's not the game's way of, kind of culling your care. I know if your court is really full, the odds of you having children goes down. But we do have a new heir, Prince Radrian. Prince Radrian, good. That's a good name. It's a good, strong name. Get rid of these fucking courtiers. All right, we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Horton, leave. Robert Norre. He has some very suspicious red hair. Our father, King Rickard the Old, oh shit. Robert Hill is actually a Reyne. He's, I remember now. Our father seduced Charisse Norre and gave birth to Robert Hill. And we can see she's tall. She's giant. So I think I was seducing her with the hope that she was going to give us bastards who were giant, and she kind of didn't. So Robert Hill, you were actually a Reyne. Can we arrange a marriage between you? And there is our sister Rana, who has been bedridden with gonorrhea for like 10 years now. Is there anyone else we can marry you to? We could marry you to Benera. Yeah, but that could create some problems. Let's marry you to Rana. There you go. Sir Gawain Catherine wants to marry someone. I will find you somebody nice. How about Sorella, the Moonsingers' Reformation. The ancient Moonsingers' religion has attained great power. Right, so essentially these pagan religions are allowed to reform, but only if they have enough moral authority. Unfortunately, the Faith of the Seven can't be reformed because they already have a head of religion, so they can't really be reformed. I think the same thing goes for the R'hllor religion, the Red God religion. But maybe we'll play as a pagan religion in the future, and then we can reform them to be all sorts of crazy shit. Like we could be of the Drowned God religion and reform it so that we can have incest marriage. Which I don't know if that's something you'd want to do with the Ironborn, but that's always a possibility. Anyways, we're trying to clear out our court. She cannot leave. Oh, because she's married to our Master at Arms. Mathos Belmore. Who the hell are you? I don't know who you are. Leave. And take your children with you. Alright, let's throw out some more people just to get a head start on this. Who is useless? John Hornwood, you are useful to us. Sarissa Mayat is married to Sir Merlon Westerling. Okay. Okay, that's... I don't know why she's in our court. Anyways. Rickard Catherine. Let's see, you have no lands, you have no titles. Get out. Oh, he has titles, doesn't he? What is his title? He's a Commander of the Rock. Oh, yeah, I can see that. Sir Rickard Catherine. Shit. Ormond, your friend. We could ask our friend to leave. Leave. Bertram. Leave. Get out. Eliane Fowler. Get out. But we can't. Commander of the Rock. Well, I mean... Relieve Commander, we're going to relieve you, and then we're going to tell you to fucking get out of the court. Do it! Take your husband with you. Great. That means we need a new commander. A new commander. Gawain. Ah, Benedict. Excellent. Handmaiden. We could make our daughter a handmaiden. Okay. Court Jester. Surely there's someone who hates us in this court. Megan. Anyways, I meant to do something. I meant to imprison this guy. Because he's currently plotting. The men sent to Oxcross to arrest Lord Matthias Woodwright were unable to get past his guards. Lord Matthias saw the futility in resisting, however, and has surrendered himself to your custody. Excellent. Is his wife pregnant? Excellent. We don't even need to kill him. We could seize his sword, though. World Killer, and we could reforge it, actually. Would make us tyrannical. Actually, it wouldn't. Okay. We'll take it. Has added World Killer to our inventory. Great. We've got a new sword. Can we rename this sword? Ooh, rename World Killer. I don't really like the name World Killer. I prefer something a bit more related to House Reyne. If you guys have ideas for appropriate thematic names, please let me know in the comment section below. But now we have an extra Valyrian sword, and we don't even need to kill Lord Matthias because his lands already stand to fall into the hands of the Reyne, so we can just keep him in the dungeons there until he dies, pretty much. A son was born to King Rickard the Mat and Sorella Hill named Mern, and he's dead. We're probably gonna denounce the child. Oh, please don't get depressed. And he's depressed. That sucks. Yeah, denounce the child. He is nothing. We don't want to pollute our little children tab here. Trust me, when you get into the 10, 20 children, this becomes a bitch to maneuver. All right, somebody died of cancer. Let him rot. Yep, let him rot, please. Thank you. Anyway, oh, okay. Yes, seduce. Do it. And how about we make her into a lover? Apparently, Sorella Hill is still also our lover, too. Why? Why? We don't need you to be a lover of ours. You don't offer us anything good. You offer us nothing good. Now then, with our armies at 22... Ooh, the Trident also has a new ruler. King Richard of the Trident. Are you excommunicated? And the Mountain and Vale have retaken most of what they originally owned. I stuffed another chunk of meat down my throat, lying over the empty dining table. My stomach is starting to hurt, but I cannot stop myself. Eating is the only thing that brings a sparkle of happiness to otherwise terrible existence. Why should I care if I get a little overweight? This is not the fate of a warrior. This is too much. We must diet. Thank you. And since we're depressed, I'm guessing fighting in wars wouldn't be a good idea. Well, I mean, maybe it would be. It'll be fine. Anyways, I wanted to start a little bit of war or something before I end the episode here. Ooh, okay. Claim Adranta. Apparently we can't wage too many wars with them. How about... we also can't seem to attack, has a valid Casus Belli. Okay, that's interesting. There is the Mountain Vale, led by a 6-year-old. With 17k soldiers, we can claim a bunch of different territories. How about the Reach? Can we have a war with them? Bloody Vengeance? No. Nothing like that. And those are the only kingdoms that we currently share borders with, so we're not going to be declaring war with anybody anytime soon. But I think I'm going to wrap the episode here. I know it was a lot of me talking, not as much real gameplay, but we are kind of in a position where we're just trying to rebuild our armies. And I felt just kind of like sharing just something I've been doing in my free time during my little break from uploading. We're going to be, well, by the time this video comes out, you guys are already going to know that I'm uploading again. But essentially... I guess you can expect more videos of just random little kind of highlights of things that I'm doing. I generally experiment more and do a lot crazier shit in my own free time as opposed to when I'm trying to do serious series and stuff like that. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video. That helps me out a lot. I have been the Golden Joblivion. This has been King Richard II, the Mad Reign of the Rock. And until next time, I will see you all later.